Y'all, my neighbor thought he was slick. He cut down trees on my property, at night, thinking nobody would ever know. But what he didn't realize, those trees were protected by the city, and what happened next? Man, it was brutal. Stick around, hit that like button, and watch how this man destroyed his own life with one chainsaw. It started with a sound, a low, distant buzz that drifted through the cold night air. At first, I thought it was nothing, a lawnmower, maybe a generator, maybe someone fixing something late. But the next morning, something felt wrong. I walked out to my backyard, coffee in hand, ready to enjoy the morning breeze. That's when I saw it. A branch. One of the huge, thick branches from my old sycamore tree, lying on the ground like someone had ripped it straight off. That tree had been here longer than any of us. It shaded my house, fed half the squirrels in the neighborhood, and survived storms that knocked out our entire grid. I touched the stump. Clean cut, fresh, sharp, like someone had been there only hours ago. I looked over at my neighbor's yard, and that's when I saw him, standing there, pretending to water his grass, but not looking at his lawn, looking at me. He froze for a moment, then turned away, acting casual. I didn't say anything, not yet, but something told me I needed to pay attention, and I was right. The next night, around 1:30 a.m., I heard the same buzzing sound, louder this time, closer. My heart dropped. I rushed to the window, careful not to be seen, and there he was, my neighbor, on my property, chainsaw in hand, dragging a ladder behind him like he owned the whole damn world. That was the moment I realized, this wasn't random. This wasn't an accident. This man was intentionally cutting my trees, and he had done it before. The next morning, 2 more branches lay on the grass. Another clean cut. Another act of vandalism. And suddenly, something clicked. Those trees, they weren't just mine. They were city-protected heritage trees, a fact the previous homeowner made sure to tell me. There was even a plaque hidden under the bark showing the year they were registered, which meant one thing: cutting them wasn't just damage. It was a crime. So I set up cameras. Not 1, not 2, 6, hidden in birdhouses behind gutters in the old wooden fence panels. Nobody could see them. Nobody even knew they existed. That night, the show began. The neighbor walked onto my property again, chainsaw in hand, gloves on, no lights, just the moon giving him that eerie glow like he was a shadow trying to destroy history. He climbed the ladder, revved the saw, started cutting, and the cameras caught everything. That's when I did what any responsible citizen would do. I sent the footage directly to the city. Within 48 hours, the city inspector herself pulled up to my driveway, her expression cold and tight like someone who had seen too many idiot neighbor cases. She looked at the trees, looked at the cuts, looked at the bark, then turned to me and asked one question. "Do you know who did this?" I smiled. "Yes, and I have the video." Her eyebrows shot up. "Show me." And I did. As the footage played, her jaw clenched tighter and tighter. By the time it ended, she wasn't just upset. She was furious. She said, "This is a violation. A serious one. He's in massive trouble." But she wasn't done. She marched straight across the yard, threw open the neighbor's gate, and demanded he come out. He stepped out, pretending to be confused. Hands in pockets. Eyes shifting. "What seems to be the problem?" he asked. She pointed at the trees, then at him. "You cut down city-protected trees." His face drained of color. "What? No. I didn't. Why would I? I have video," she said. And that was when everything changed. My neighbor's face turned pale as the inspector told him the situation. He stammered. He lied. He denied everything. But the moment she mentioned the fine, he nearly collapsed. Because cutting down protected trees isn't just a slap on the wrist. It can cost tens of thousands per tree. "You destroyed property that belongs to the city," she said coldly. He tried one last excuse. "That footage isn't me." She looked at him, unblinking. "You wore the same shoes when you answered the door. Same jacket. Same gloves. Sir, Please don't insult my intelligence. He broke. Okay, fine. But those trees were blocking my sunlight. The inspector raised a brow. So you broke the law? Because of shadows? He realized he messed up even worse by admitting it. The inspector handed him a thick packet. A violation order. He opened it, and his jaw dropped. It was a $42,000 fine. But that wasn't even the punishment. The real pain? He was required to replace the trees. Not with saplings. Not with small basic ones. But with full-grown, city-approved replacements that cost thousands each. Plus installation. Plus a 10-year maintenance contract he had to pay for. His life basically became a landscaping nightmare. He looked at me, eyes full of anger. This is your fault. I laughed. How? You walked onto my property. You cut down protected trees. You used a chainsaw at night like a cartoon villain. He tried to push his luck again. I'll sue you. The inspector stepped between us. For what? Owning trees. He had no answer. Over the next month, trucks rolled into his yard constantly. Digging, planting, installing irrigation, stabilizing roots. His backyard looked like a construction zone controlled by angry gardeners. Meanwhile, I got a letter from the city thanking me for reporting the crime. My trees were trimmed, treated, and preserved by professionals. Fully paid for by my neighbor's violation fees. Karma hit him like a bulldozer. The final twist? The new trees planted in his yard? They grew bigger, wider, and shaded his house even more than mine ever did. He couldn't cut them. He couldn't touch them. He couldn't trim a single leaf without risking another fine. The city made sure of it. Today, he avoids eye contact with me. Never speaks. Never steps near my yard again. Sometimes I sit on my porch, sip my coffee, and look at the heritage trees swaying proudly. My neighbor tried to erase them, but all he did was plant more. And he's stuck with them for the next decade. Justice served by Mother Nature, delivered by the city.